Hi, Robin Miles here. Um, I don't know for whatever reason, but I'm compelled to do a video about mental health. Um, and I want to kind of give a bit of a personal story from my own perspective. And maybe what kind of drove this video was one, the level of unauthenticity that kind of happens on social media a lot of the time. And also, particularly on LinkedIn, where I'm going to be posting this, it's all about, business and what we should be doing and everything else like that. And I think when I'm, working with individuals, it's really about breaking down kind of barriers around why things are happening and tapping into what people are really truly feeling and thinking and getting into their real inner self about what's really going on for and opening them up and seeing what they need to do about it to change their kind of situation. And that's the work that I do, but also in the work that I do with people, it's also about my own journey and what I kind of reflect on. And as a consequence, to be honest, every time that I work with someone, kind of I feel like another a layer for myself gets peeled away. And if I go back for my own experience with regards to mental health, I think it was when I was 16 years old that I first started getting panic attacks, because I was in a situation that I didn't want to be in. I wanted to be doing aid work in Africa, and I was growing up in an area where it was very racist. There was a racist murder, and then when I was 17, a number of my friends got killed in a car crash, and I was trying to save up money to go to Africa, and I had all these pressures, and I was internalizing it all. And I had people around me, but I didn't really reach out to them, and I took on that pain, and it manifested as panic attacks, and then that enabled me to open up and kind of talk about it. And I think, over my life, I've had a number of very difficult kind of situations, and people have sometimes said to me, "Oh, look, haven't you got trauma as a consequence?" I've had, guns pointed to my head. I've nearly died from health conditions while, being in Africa and other kinds of places. And at that time, I always said, no, I'm kind of okay and stuff. And at the time, I felt like I really dealt with it. And then in adulthood, and I think particularly having children, and we had 2 children with disabilities, and that's why I set up Inspire Me initially, was because I was at the level 9 of the Herald 7 building in Melbourne, and my wife called me, and she was just in tears on the floor, just broken. My kids were in the background screaming and shouting and hurting themselves, and I was like, this is not success. And I walked out basically, and I went home and tried to focus on that. But that was, some of those years were really, really hard. Really hard. And then financially, we had kind of stresses as well. And I think with the children, the big thing that kind of hits me is that when you have children, you kind of start to uncover all the things that you went through when you were their age, and you kind of reflect back on them. When I'm working with people, I'm reflecting back on things, and it kind of brings them back up. And what I realize is that through situations and through force, what we tend to do is actually put layers of ego over them to protect them, that we are okay and everything else like that. And I just want to kind of let everyone know that it is so okay to let go of that pretending. Actually really open up and realize who you are and what you stand for. And if you're kind of experiencing or see someone experiencing, because as I put here, 1 in 5 people experience mental health in a 12-month period, and that's just ridiculous. And we need to look after each other a lot more than what we're currently doing. And so I kind of feel for this, that, just by opening up about things that have kind of happened to you, letting go that you're actually okay. And I know for myself, there's been a number of things just recently where I've peeled back the layers and actually realised, what, there is a lot of grief there. There is a lot of sadness there. I've got sick parents in the UK, and kind of thinking about the inevitability of life and death and those types of things then makes you really challenge it about what do I truly think about that, and how will I feel about that, and just, you never prepare yourself for these things, but building up your tolerance to it by actually being really open to it, I think is really important. And like I say, if you're not feeling out of balance, if you're not feeling stressed, if everything is going really okay for you, then absolutely fantastic. But 1 in 5 of the people around you at home, at work, are not. And so just by asking them that question and opening up, please like and share this, because it's really about having a real kind of conversation about it and looking after one another. Please put your comments below. If you do want to have a chat, I am here, not just from a work perspective, but I am genuinely here. For instance, I had someone on LinkedIn respond to one of my messages once and said, well, you wouldn't want to listen. And I said, why wouldn't I? And he said, well, why would you? And I said, why would I not? Give me a number, I'll call you now. And I did, and had a conversation. And he was really broken financially, for instance, and considering committing suicide, of how bad things had got, and etc. And in the conversation, I just opened up and said, look, I'm here, I'll have the chat with you. And halfway through the conversation, his tone changed. And I said, what happened for you there? And he said, I've just realised. I said, what did you realise? And he said that I'm worth more than the money. And even now, like, it brings a bit of a tear to my eye, because in actual fact, that actually changed his perspective about things. And he's happily married with his children, and he's got over that financial difficulty, and he's moved on, and he's got a job. And I never actually did any work with him at all, but just by having that powerful conversation. So ask someone today, reach out. You never know who's going to be impacted by it, and I wish you all the very best. Take care, guys. Bye now.
If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Feel free to share with friends, and check out what's up next for more videos from my channel.